Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get back to basics. We're going to talk about things that can help make your life easier and transition here in the Philippines and in Thailand. Look, before I was coming here, 3 years ago when I was coming to the Philippines, I was obsessed with one issue. Everything else seemed to fall in place. And that one issue was communication in my phone. Was I going to be able to make phone calls to my family? Was I going to be able to use the internet? Was I going to be able to do bank transfers? You know, all of these, just so many questions within questions. And of course, it all worked out. And today we're going to start with the beginning. I'm just going to assume that you've already got your SIM card at the airport. Now look, people are going to give you different feedback on when to get your SIM card when you arrive. You know, they're going to tell you, oh, wait till you get, into province, into town, into SM Mall. And I've tried that, I want to say at least twice, and it didn't work for me. So I went to the airport way. So at least 3 different airports, multiple times, I've changed out my SIM card at the airport, whether it's the Philippines, Thailand, and back in America. So with that being said, I'm going to assume you already have your SIM card of your country, whether it's, like I said, Philippines, Thailand, and America. The ones in Thailand and Philippines for the most part, but in Thailand in particular, was so easy. I mean, I popped it in. I'm actually still on the same SIM card that I had, 8, 9 months ago. Okay, so that issue's taken care of. You have your new SIM card. I'm going to start with 2 apps that are in both countries, actually really all 3 countries, that I love. And that's Google Translator. That's one of my #1 apps here in Thailand. It works well. Even the Thais use it. I use it a lot. But don't get lulled into this feeling that the translator is the be-all, do-all, because oftentimes, you guys, even some of the translations are janky. You think that they say one thing, and the translation is really something completely wholly different. However, my #1 app that I suggest you get, that you load in America, is Google Translator. I believe it's no cost to it. I don't believe I paid anything for it, and I use it all the time. The #2 app, and it's a Google, and you guys, I love this app. I can't say enough. I mean, I wish I was sponsored by these guys here in Thailand, and that's Google Maps. My Google Maps here in Thailand have saved my bacon so many times. On my 21-hour road trip, if it wasn't for my Google Maps, I would probably still be driving around Thailand lost. I'm joking, but not really joking. So the Google Maps here in Thailand work great. I think the Google Maps here in Thailand work better than the ones in America. That may sound crazy. I only had a couple, let's just say, out of a 21-hour drive, I had 3 snafus with Google Maps. And one of them wasn't Google's fault. Actually, I don't think any of them are Google's fault, because 1 or 2 times I was out in the province and I just didn't have internet service. But it didn't last long, because internet service here in Thailand rocks. With that being said, Google Maps. I had one instance in Bangkok where the freeway, there had been a crane that fell on the freeway about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, injuring or maybe even killing someone. And so they closed a whole big stretch of highway on, I think it's 34, 35, leaving Bangkok, getting back to 4. So, I mean, Google Translator, Google Maps. Thank you very much. And the next one that I found really helpful, and I hadn't decided whether to put this 3, but it's becoming a quick 3 for me, and that's my Bangkok banking app. So they don't really use credit cards unless you're in bigger places, but it seems like everybody does the QR code thing. And, coming from Silicon Valley and working for startups, I never would have expected that a QR code would have lived this long. I really wouldn't have. And I'm just amazed that it has, and I'm happy because I can pay people, I can get paid with my QR card. So that's your banking, your Thai banking to pay your bills. Okay, number four. Number four is kind of a mixture because it's literally it's two things within one app. And I have fallen in love in the Philippines with Grab. I use Grab in Manila, Makati, BGC. I use Grab all the time as a better alternative to taxis. And in the beginning, it was super, super strong. And then it seemed like the more people hopped aboard, the less reliable Grab transportation became. All that being said, Grab transportation is great. It works great here in Thailand, and it also works great in the Philippines. And here's what you can use it for, you guys. You can use your Grab to actually check taxis. What I mean by that, okay, how much to the airport? Okay, so it's 500, 700 pesos. Okay, so then you go to a taxi, you say, how much to go to the airport? They say, oh, 900 pesos, 1,200 pesos. Like, nope, Grab will do it for 700. Oftentimes, you can get the taxi talked down, and oftentimes not. And so that's okay. You hit the Grab button, Grab shows up and takes care of it at 700 bahts or pesos. So I really like Grab in the Philippines for transportation, and I use it a little bit here for transportation, but not very much. Okay, the next Grab thing, so we're still on number four, but Grab has two. Grab food, you guys. Oh my God. In the beginning, in low season, Grab food was really, not so much reliable. It was reliable, but also affordable. And, as high season, I'm beginning to really dislike high season here in Thailand. High season raises the boat, raises the prices on everything. And that's true anywhere. That's not just Thailand. It's America, it's Italy, wherever you go. The more people, the more you're going to pay, unfortunately, which is really weird. So Grab for transportation, Grab for food. Okay, the next one is one that I installed in America. I used it in the Philippines. I've used it in Thailand. And that is Western Union. And look, you guys, there's Wise, there's Remit, there's PayPal. There's a ton of different ones to use, and I've used a few of those. I used Remit until I had a huge problem, and I was never able to get over it. And then I just stumbled across, I think it was Steve, one of his videos on Western Union. Anyway, Western Union was harder to get going, but once you got going, I'm going on 3 years with no Western Union problems. Now, I top up my phone sometimes with Western Union. You can pay your rent, you can pay directly into people's banks, you can send money to people who need it. I've sent money to family members in America as Christmas presents. And then I discovered I could just do Amazon and just do that way and pay on my Amazon card. But anyway, Western Union is a strong, strong app, and that I highly recommend it. So the next one, again, it's one that I would suggest you do in America before you come here. And it is worked in, I don't know, four different countries. And that's Magic Jack. I love Magic Jack. Magic Jack, I believe today is like $3.99 or almost $4 a month. And it's the best $4 I've ever spent. And I'll tell you why. Because it allows me to actually text with family. You cannot text with a lot of banks. And a lot of banks won't take your Magic Jack number. But Magic Jack keeps you with an American number. Some people, look, if you want to keep your AT&T, if you want to keep your lines open, if you think it's worth it for your business, it's worth it for your family, that's fine. You do you. I'm totally okay with that. I mean, it's your money. However, I know that in America, I was paying $100 to $120 a month for one line of AT&T. Yeah, and I never really felt the customer service was what matched me. So I went ahead and went with Magic Jack. So let's do a little recapping. So that's Google Maps, Google Translate, that's Grab Food, Grab Transportation, that's your Thai Bank, and that's Magic Jack. And this one is, I don't know, I won't call it a freebie, but I use Lazada. So there's Lazada and Shopee in the Philippines. And I used a Lazada. I'm just a Lazada guy. I never ever once did a Shopee buy. And I've had great luck. again, with Lazada. I'm actually still ordering with Lazada here in Thailand. So I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that some of the same apps in Philippines and in Thailand, they work intermittently. And here is something I really want to address that I hear a lot of. Oh, one time back in Bandcamp, I was ripped off by Gcash, or one time Lazada delivered a box of bricks, whatever. I understand that, and it happens. However, my experience has been really good with Lazada. I think one time I was scammed, and one time I was scammed, and one time I got something I didn't order, and Lazada took care of it right away. So, I didn't have, any kind of problems with Lazada, and I would highly recommend them. I guess I want to kind of bring it back around. The thing that I was so concerned about was, how am I going to communicate here in Asia? And it can be done, and it's nothing to be freaked out about. Many of my friends have 2 or 3 phones, and that's a great idea. I have not progressed to that. I've had really, really good experiences keeping track of everything. Again, I would knock on wood, but I've done it 3 times, and that's bad luck. So let me know what apps you use in Thailand and the Philippines. And again, getting back to the thing people were telling me about one time back at Bandcamp, I don't keep a ton of money I never kept a ton of money in Gcash. I never kept a ton of money in my Thai banks, or I shouldn't say my Thai banks, because you do have to keep money in Thai banks. But I've never kept a ton of money, whether it's in the Lazada, whether it's Gcash, whether it's any of those apps. I just don't keep a lot of money in there. So that way, people can't come in and take your money. If you don't have a lot of money in there, they can't take it. So I use, and the banks here in Thailand, I don't want to say they're better or they're worse. I tell you what, they're a little harder to connect with because of the language. However, I think that once you get connected with them, it's just like the Philippines, and so much is that they know you, and that, they help you out. So I hope this video has helped. Let me know your apps. This is Rich in Thailand talking about apps. I'll see you next time.